wrong, I just sounded like Crystal. I've got it for other roads.
It is now 7 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and start the city council meeting. Okay. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Bolton.
Present.
Alderman Guzman.
Present.
Alderman Martinez.
Present.
Alderman Felix.
Present.
Alderman Newsom.
Present.
Alderman Turner.
Present.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Present.
Alderman Florian.
Present.
Alderman Hayes.
Present.
Mayor Taylor.
Present.
You have a quorum, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Can I have Pastor Angelo Kyle from the Restoration Church here in Waukegan come up for our invocation? We also know him as Commissioner for Lake County, and we're just so honored to have you here this evening, so thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to bring the invocation on this evening. Heavenly Father, the giver of all good and perfect gifts, we thank you for this day, a day that we have never seen before and a day that we shall never see again. We ask that you would bless this council, give them the knowledge necessary to move the city forward, and give the mayor the wisdom and courage to lead this city into the next dimension. And all this in Jesus' name and for his sake we pray. Amen.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the September 16th Waukegan City Council meeting. Again, I say this every time, but I want to remind people that our agendas are posted on the Friday before the council meeting. Please go online and look at them, or they're posted outside of City Hall. I do want to say that between this meeting and the next meeting, there is actually a 3-week break. Normally, it's 2 weeks, but because of the way the calendar falls, it will be 3 this time. Our next meeting is October 7th, so please mark your calendars accordingly. At this time, I'm going to have our Waukegan Police Chief, Navarro, come up and give you updates. If you remember, I've said to you that he will talk the second City Council meeting, and Chief Pazer from the Fire Department will talk the first. Chief Navarro?
Hello, everyone. Mayor, thank you for having me up here today. I want to talk a little bit about a great event we had yesterday, Viva la Independencia Parade, that turned out to be fantastic. There was a large crowd of onlookers on a beautiful sunny day. We had families of all ages enjoying the parade. We estimated the crowd at about 30,000 people, so it is the biggest parade that we have had in my 26-year career here. It was a beautiful thing to see all the floats and the participants taking part in the parade. The parade started at noon, and it took about 3.5 hours to get through all the participants and the floats. Ended, obviously, with a large group of horses, which showcased their uniqueness. It was a beautiful thing to see. And I do want to congratulate the Juntos NFP organization for having a successful and festive parade. I tell you, that everyone enjoyed. We worked very well with that organization. Their volunteers were very visible throughout the route, and I was able to communicate with them as we were moving, as the participants were moving through the route eastbound. Again, it was very peaceful, and there were no arrests made throughout that entire time. All right, good to hear. Thank you. You know, I do want to say that the parade would have been very difficult to manage without the assistance of many different city agencies. One, the fire department, they had an extended amount of personnel there, along with their paramedics, which I know that they handled a few minor, I believe they were mainly heat-related calls, so thank you, Chief Pazer, Chief Stickles, we greatly appreciate it. Public Works, for what they were able to do for us. They assisted us with the parade throughout the route, road closures, barricades, cleaning the parade after its completion. The mayor's office had numerous other departments in the city, from City Hall working to support us as well. And that was a large undertaking and a big team effort, which paid off. So thank you for everyone to assisting us, because without your assistance, you know, the parade would not have been as eventful as it was. So again, we greatly appreciate it. And to all the officers and the city staff that also sacrificed their personal time so that the community could have an opportunity to enjoy the parade. So thank you, and I do see what you did for the people in our community when you could have been with your families, but you volunteered to come out and to make sure that our residents were having a joyful event. So I greatly appreciate that. I'm going to talk a little bit about our crime stats for August. Again, our crime stats all our information has not been processed, but for our calls for service for the month of August for 2024, we're at 5,473 calls for service. In 2023, we're at 5,830, so that's about 357 calls that we had less, which is about 12 calls per day that we had less for the month of August in comparison to the month of August in 2023. So far, we've processed 700 state citations. We are still processing them. 1,633 compliance tickets. We've had 171 adults arrested, 5 juveniles, and we've seized 9 firearms. We've also been working through a federal highway safety funds grant administered by IDOT, the Illinois Department of Transportation. It's a sustained traffic enforcement program, and we've cited 167 individuals based on this grant, from seatbelt violations to child restraint violations, speeding, and distracted driving, and to include a few more. So that's kind of where we're at. I want to remind everyone that you can go on the city's website. It's waukeganil.gov. Go under the Waukegan Police Department Crime Blotter, where you can get our bi-weekly activity summary. And that information will give you our calls for service, our traffic citations, our parking citations, the number of firearms we've recovered. It'll give you arrest dates, location of an arrest for each person, charges, the arrestee's name, their age, and the city of residence. And the summary does go back to the beginning of this year, 1/1 of 2024. So thank you all.
Hey, Chief, what was that number, 700, the first number you listed, 700 calls for arrests? I'm sorry.
No, so there was, 171 adult arrests.
No, at the top, 700
Yeah, so
and
state
1,600.
Yeah, citations. We're up to 700 right now, but we are still processing them.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Hey, Chief,
Yes, sir.
so the only people that are be named or anything is only adults, right?
That's
Nobody
correct.
under?
No, we cannot,
Okay.
by law, we cannot name juveniles.
Okay,
There's
just
only
making sure.
adults.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
Again, I want to personally thank our Public Works Department, who did a phenomenal job yesterday, along with not only our police department, but other agencies and the security that was also hired by Juntos. Honestly, it was the least eventful parade that we've ever had. It was easygoing. People were wonderful and cooperative, and the crowds were fantastic. So I just want to say, you saw this weekend that to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, which is from September 15th to October 15th. But the number of activities happening throughout Waukegan are phenomenal this month. But again, I want to acknowledge Juntos NFP for planning and staging this year's parade, and Puro Football for preparing for and holding this year's festival. And for all the staff who participated in this, it was just an incredible event. It was a wonderful experience. So, speaking of more events, this year, or this weekend, we have the 4th Annual Fiesta Sin Frontera Festival, which will take place this coming weekend on Saturday, September 21st, from noon to 11 p.m. during our monthly art walk. It's Waukegan's own ballet folklorico Taiwa. I'm probably not saying that correctly, but they are a local not-for-profit operating in a local storefront on Genesee Street that highlights Hispanic and Latino culture worldwide by sharing dance and music. There's plenty of music. Trust me, you will love it. If you've not been there, please stop and see this. This is just tremendous. There will be business booths and food, but it's always a great day when they're here. I also want to mention that we got a letter from what we call the GFOA dated August 12th, 24. The city was informed that the city's annual budget document has been awarded the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award from the Government Finance Officers Association. According to Mikhail Mark Levine, Director of Technical Services for GFOA, this award is the highest form of recognition in government budgeting, and its attainment represents a significant achievement by the City of Waukegan. This is Waukegan's second consecutive year of such recognition and represents the city's presentation of a budget document that is examined and judged to be proficient as a policy document, a financial plan, an operations guide, and a communication device. I just want to say how proud I am of our finance department and to our interim finance director, Don Schultz, and the whole finance team who works on our budget every year. This is a phenomenal award, and I want to give them recognition. It just so happens they're all out this week. They're getting training, but they are just a phenomenal group of people. The Community Emergency Response Team, which the citizens know as CERT, program offers a consistent nationwide approach to volunteer training in basic disaster response skills, and the Waukegan Fire Department hosts free CERT training, and the next program starts on Thursday, September 19th at 7 p.m. Each session is 3 hours long, and the course includes 7 sessions, and graduates will receive a FEMA certificate. You can call 847-249-5410 if you would like to be a part of it or for more information. There will be a grand opening and ribbon cutting for the new telehealth booth at the Waukegan Public Library on Wednesday, September 18th from 2 to 3. The new, quiet, private, ADA accessible booth was made possible through a partnership with Abbott and Abbott Fund. It will connect library patrons to virtual healthcare appointments with their preferred healthcare provider. The booth has a Wi-Fi-enabled laptop, webcam, and vitals equipment such as a scale, which I don't know why anybody needs a scale, but apparently we'll still have that, blood pressure monitors, thermometers, and pulse monitors. So join us this next, on Wednesday for the opening from 2 to 3. I also want you to mark your calendars for the Waukegan Fire Department Open House in recognition of Fire Prevention Week and celebration of their 175th anniversary on Saturday, October 12th from 11 to 1 at Waukegan's Fire Station 5 at 3221 North Green Bay Road. On-site activities will include fire engines, ambulances, airport crash vehicles, special equipment displays, fire extinguisher training, vehicle extrication demonstrations, and fire sprinkler demonstrations. And of course, you can always speak with our Waukegan firefighters and paramedics. Last, I want to remind people that the week of September 23rd through 29th is National Diaper Need Awareness Week. And what that means is that there's a place here in Waukegan that you can donate diapers to, but we even will have a box here at City Hall that you can do it. We need people to donate diapers. There's many, many families out there that cannot afford diapers, and this particular group also takes menstrual products. Lastly, I want to talk about, we often talk about what does the building department do. Well, let me tell you, in the month of August, they completed 934 total inspections, which included 11 new business inspections, 438 code inspections, 353 construction inspections, 127 zoning inspections, and removed 36 signs from the parkway. There were 69 citations written for August. So there were 45 new license applications, 80 new zoning certificate applications, 33 closing letters, 340 permit applications were received, and 246 were approved and issued so far. So that's what, and again, you can always go to our website and you can get that information live, but that's just a general update for those of you who don't go on our website but would like to know that information. Again, I will provide that as much as I can along the way. We want people to know what's going on in the city. So, Madam Clerk, that concludes the mayor's comments.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, you have a proclamation tonight, and that proclamation is the Waukegan Fire Prevention Week, October 6th through the 12th, 2024. Whereas the City of Waukegan and the Waukegan Fire Department is committed to the safety of life and property from the devastating effects of fire. And whereas fire is a serious public safety concern both locally and nationally, and homes are the locations where people are at greatest risk from fire. And whereas home fires killed more than 2,700 people in the United States in 2022, according to the National Fire Protection Association, and fire departments in the United States responded to 360,000 home fires. And whereas roughly 3 out of 5 fire deaths happen in homes with either no smoke alarms or no working smoke alarms. And whereas working smoke alarms cut the risk of dying in reported home fires almost in half, and whereas smoke alarms sense smoke well before you can, alerting you to danger in the event of fire, in which you may have as little as 2 minutes to escape safely. Whereas residents should install smoke alarms in every sleeping room outside each separate sleeping area and on every level of the home, and whereas residents will make sure that their smoke alarms meet the needs of all their family members, including those with sensory or physical disabilities. And whereas residents should test smoke alarms at least once a month. Whereas residents who have planned and practiced a home fire escape plan are more prepared and will therefore be more likely to survive a fire. And whereas first responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and home fire injuries through prevention and protection education. And whereas residents are responsive to public education measures and are able to take personal steps to ensure their safety, to increase their safety from fire, especially in their homes. And whereas the 2024 Fire Prevention Week theme, Smoke Alarms, Make Them Work for You, serves to remind us the importance of having working smoke alarms in the home. Now therefore be it resolved that Mayor Taylor and members of the City Council of Waukegan, Illinois, do hereby proclaim the week of October 6th through the 12th, 2024, as Fire Prevention Week. And I urge all the people of Waukegan to make sure their homes have working smoke alarms and to support the many public safety activities and efforts of fire and emergency services. Adopted the 16th day of September, 2024.
One, we're going to present this to you. We'll do a picture in front, and then I'm going to have Chief Pazer talk a little bit about the open house and what's going on. But I want to present this to both of you. Come on. You guys don't get recognized enough, so you guys need to have this, right? Yeah. Well, he doesn't know, but we cut this service after 30 years, so.
Okay, Doc, slide it a little bit more. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, smile. One more like this. Got it.
Thank you. Thank you. He's going to give you a rough night tonight.
I know.
Thank you for allowing me to talk for just a little bit. We're excited to have you back.
Kelly stated, it's Fire Prevention Week from the 6th through the 12th. This year's fire prevention theme is dubbed Smoke Alarms, Make Them Work for You. This year's fire prevention theme is dubbed Smoke Alarms, Make Them Work for You. The goal of this year's campaign strives to educate everyone about the importance of having working smoke alarms in the home. According to the NFPA, working smoke alarms reduce the risk of dying in a home fire by more than 54%. Roughly 3 out of 5 fire deaths happen in homes with either no smoke alarms or no working smoke alarms. The Waukegan Fire Department has teamed up with the Illinois Fire Safety Alliance to provide free smoke alarms to any homeowner throughout the city of Waukegan. Anytime a homeowner requests a smoke alarm, we come out and we do an assessment of your home and install the appropriate number of smoke alarms. This program is grant funded and is ongoing throughout the year. The Illinois Fire Safety Alliance provides a continuous number of smoke alarms to the Waukegan Fire Department as long as we install them. All smoke alarms installed are the 10-year sealed battery type. God bless you. God bless you again. Keeping working smoke alarms in all homes is critical to reducing injuries and deaths as a result of fires. If you know someone in this area in need of a new smoke detector, please feel free to call 847-249-5410. And now I'm going to give the microphone to Deputy Chief Stickles, who's going to talk about our open house coming up here.
Okay, so our open house, we are going to celebrate 175 years of Waukegan Fire Department, which is actually older than the city of Waukegan. So quite a historical mark for the fire department. We're going to be very proud to introduce you to some displays. We'll show you the effectiveness of sprinklers in a home. We'll have a demonstration for that as well, and vehicle extrication, and to show you all the different disciplines we do in the fire service. It's more than just fire and EMS. We're doing anything from rope rescue to confined space, hazardous materials, divers, et cetera. We do have bomb technicians as well. So come and see, experience what we do on a 24-hour daily schedule, meet the personnel, and enjoy the day. Thank you very much. October 12th from 11 to 1, Station 5 by the airport, York House in Green Bay. Yep, and Dave Motley was gracious to make some wonderful flyers. They're in the back of the room if you'd like to take one on your way out. Thank you.
Thank you both. Next, can I have a first and a second for a motion to appoint Vicki McKinney to the Waukegan Library Board? I need a Alderman Martinez.
Second.
Alderman Newsome. Vicki, you're here tonight. Would you like to stand up so everybody knows who you are? Thank you for your service. Honestly, it takes a lot for a resident to take a voluntary position and be on our boards, and we wish more residents would help us and get involved. But again, I want to thank you for taking this on and being a part of our library board.
Response real quick.
Yep, go ahead, please.
Thank you. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Good evening. I want to thank you all for allowing me the honor to serve Waukegan. I am a lifelong resident, which is a little different than some of the folks that I see serving us. That's wonderful, I appreciate it, but I have a different level of vested interest in my home. And in fact, I purchased a home a block and a half away from the house I was born in. I believe I'm in your word, Dr. Florian. So this is a full circle moment for me. Serving is not new to me. I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, so service is what we do. This is just another level, another aspect, another opportunity to serve the city that I love, the city of progress that folks just have given up on or don't believe in enough. So thank you again for the opportunity. Come on. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Can I have well, actually, I only need a voice for this, don't I? A voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Welcome. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Alderman time, I'm sorry, audience time.
Audience time. Audience time. I'm trying to get my timer going here. Hold on, I got to do this. Okey doke, we're going to go ahead. The timer on the wall's not cooperating, so I'm going to do it from my phone. I'm going to call the 4 people who are signed up tonight. Matt and Sharon Aspinall, Rayon Edwards, Margaret Carrasco, and Brother Blanks. Go ahead to the east side of the room, and you have 3 minutes, and make sure that you are ready to go. That will be Matt and Sharon Aspinall, Rayon Edwards, Margaret Carrasco, and Brother Blanks. Okay? Aspinalls, no? Okay. Mr. Rayon Edwards, it's all yours.
Oh, okay. Good evening, council. I want to start this meeting off a little bit different, and I ain't talking to this council. I'm going to talk to the residents for a minute, because at the last council meeting, I gave the mayor some roses, and Mr. Clyde McNamara and Miss Margaret Carresso decided to, take pictures and tell everybody. And I want to make this very clear for everybody to understand me. When I come up here to talk, I don't come up here for political reasons. I don't give a damn about being nobody's friend at all. I do what's right, even when it's hard, and even when it's with people that I genuinely care about. So me doing what I did here is on the national TV, YouTube, everybody can see it. I don't be pushed by that. Mayor, I want to say this to you tonight because I'm disappointed for a couple of reasons. I seen the parade this weekend. It was absolutely beautiful. I loved it. It was amazing. I loved it. But I was so confused because I seen horses. And I know prior to this, we had a big old issue where you guys were saying there couldn't be no horses. This is what I be talking about when we pick and choose to do stuff. And this is how it confuses everybody. And we can't help but to think, what's the political thing behind this? I had a conversation this weekend on social media with Miss Mandy Dye. And what she said to me was one of the most disgusting things ever, and she's defending you. So I'm talking to you when I speak about this because you appointed a husband on a committee. And something was said about the SROs. And she said to me, well, we should have more say, and you're going to need the people that pay 5 times taxes more than y'all. I didn't understand that. That's what she said to me, and I got the screenshot of it. And so that disgusts me for many reasons, because my grandfather was in this city probably longer than half everybody up here. He came here when he was 12 years old. 1925, baby. It was Little Fort then. So for her to assume that my family don't pay no taxes in this city disgusts me. And if those the type of people you surround yourself with, I'm even more disappointed that I ever supported you in the first time. And that's just how I feel tonight. When we talk about all of the great work that the police is doing, I'm saying to the councils today, they have enough staff. They don't have enough staff over there right now. Some days you go at that front desk, you can't even file a report. You heard me. I went, tried to file one. Filed one almost 2 weeks ago because my bag was stolen with all my things. And when I went to the front desk to go talk to them, I was told that they didn't even have enough people to investigate my crime. Now, there's cameras in the stores where my card has been used at. And we got to know that video is only held for so long. So if my police don't go there to get the video, then we ain't going to never solve anything.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Rayon Edwards. Thank you. Margaret Carrasco. I'm ready when you are.
Okay, tonight I have a picture, and it's being passed down, of another event this past weekend, okay? And it's a picture that was taken in the inside of Waukegan Park District Maintenance Building. And in it, you see, it says, there's a sign, and there's a whole bunch of signs saying George Bridges 5K run. Well, looky here. How about that? We have an individual who's an elected official, commissioner, and also employee here at the city, and taxpayers are paying for his publicity, okay? Like $8,000 worth each year. I haven't, as a taxpayer, I have an objection to that his name as a candidate is being paid by us taxpayers. Why can't they just say, you know, it's a race, whatever the case is? Why do they have to put his name on all the literature, all the signs, and being stored inside of a public building? It's an unfair advantage for current park board commissioners and a violation of public trust and election code. We're using public district resources, including media, for political advantage. And that's wrong. That's an ethics violation. In addition to that, I think it's a blatant abuse of resources for political gain. But I got something even better yet. Last week, when I went and attended the Park District meeting, I happened to drive through the back. And as I was walking in, I saw George Bridges there, standing on the phone. He apparently thought that he was speaking on his cell. He thought he was talking where no one else could hear him. That was not the case. I heard every single word. As he just blab, 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 you couldn't stop him talking about giving orders who to approve permits, building permits to, giving the names, etc., the reasons. So you see, George, there are several retired firemen who swear and claim and allege that you solicited and have accepted thousands of dollars in bribe payments. Do we have an expedited kind of like city list here for getting approval for projects and inspections and bypass asbestos remediation, burn down buildings? I mean, I thought that's arson. Apartment buildings, restaurants, bars, hotels that would require inspections and are expedited through
Thank you, Ms.
the
Carrasco.
screen.
Thank you. Brother
Money's
Blanks,
deposited
please.
into your wife's bank
Thank you.
account.
Thank you. Brother Blanks?
Brother Blanks, founder and chief president of Black Abolition Movement for the Mind. I'm here as a citizen, veteran, and a not-for-profit business owner that's located at 801 McAllister Avenue. I recall coming here 3 years ago and I expressed my concerns regarding McAllister Avenue being a main avenue just like every other avenue of this city, and that it should be paved. I'm glad to see that it is getting paved and it's been paved. But my concerns with McAllister Avenue, unlike every other avenue in this city, main avenue, is that it's been paved and now you have patches at every other spot in the road. Now, I've been given various reasons as to why we have patches at 11 to 12 patches. Now, I know that, that's the work that's supposed to be done, as far as the lead line replacement. But I'm talking about the finished product. With all these patches that we have in the road, unlike any other spot in the city, you got yellow paint that's down the road, that's in the middle, that's not in the middle of the road where the line's supposed to be, but from one end, from 10th Street all the way up, it's not good. So my concerns is, I'm not sure. I've been given a lot of reasons why. But what I have requested from this city, and I'm coming here today because I want you all to be able to know, so nobody can say, well, we didn't know. Right now, I want the specs. And I put in a FOIA request for the engineering specs as to why we have all these patches in the road, unlike any other place in the city. I've been given a lot of different reasons, but the engineering specs don't lie. So I've been requesting these specs. I've talked to Mr. Bridges, I've talked to Mr. Garland, I've talked to Robertson Engineering. But we put in the request for those specs. I want those specs because McAllister Avenue, it don't look like any other city, any other avenue in this city that's being paved with all these patches. Now, I've been reassured, your chief of staff, Mr. Bridges has told me that you're looking at repaving the whole road next year. Well, I don't know I don't know who is going to be here to hold that accountable for next year. It would be good if it could get done this year. But that street should not look the way it looked. It is a very sad, it's a really sad the way it looked. And I don't know if it's an engineering catastrophe or what, but those specs would tell. I need those specs, and I need them. I put in the second FOIA request, and so when I put the FOIA, they say they don't have it, but they told me that they do have it. So
Thank
I
you,
need
sir.
those so
Thank you.
we can see what's going on with our
Thank
street.
you. That concludes the audience time, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. On to the consent agenda. Can I have a first and a second?
I'll make the motion.
Alderman Turner, second. Alderman Newsome.
I want to remove item A, please.
Yeah.
Actually, consent. I want to remove item A.
We're just doing old business. Item
No, we're
6A.
on
Actually,
consent
consent item.
Yeah, Item A?
The minutes.
Okay. Okay, so we will do items B through E and come back to A. Item B, a motion to approve the regular regular meeting minutes from Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024. Item C, a motion to approve vendor payments
Actually-
dated September 16th, 2024, in the amount of $1,322,093.23. Item D, a motion to approve and ratify regular payroll dated September 6, 2024, in a total amount of $2,011,692.67. Item E, a motion to approve and ratify miscellaneous payroll dated September, I believe that would be September 6, 2024, in a total amount of $26,970.24. Is that on the agenda? Is that September 6th? Because I show September 06878, so I believe it should be, is that today's date that it's supposed to be? Anybody know?
I'm assuming it's the same as the regular
yeah.
payroll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So, there being no questions to the motion?
There is. Actually, it was both minute meetings.
Okay,
Pull off B as well.
okay.
What number?
So,
4A and 4B are being pulled.
okay. So we're voting on C, D, and E. Since we made the motion to approve B, C, D, E, I think I probably need to get new motions, right? Can,
After the motion was made, there was a request to pull off items. In general, you can just pull off whatever items as possible as long as no one objects and that you're basically going, you're not considering 4A or 4B.
is anybody objecting to me pulling out or taking off B?
Only if he's going to talk about it for 25 minutes.
Okay.
I
Okay,
can.
we're voting on C, D, and E. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsome.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
All right.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item A, I need a first and a second, and then we'll do discussion. I need a first and a second on item A.
So moved.
Alderman Florian, second.
Second.
Alderman Newsome. Alderman Guzman.
The only reason why I wanted to pull both of these, I wanted to make sure that in the minutes, what I said for the record for the two appointees for the library board, the reappointees, I wanted to make sure they says no. And the only one that one that I did want to say in the minutes and for the record, that the appointee for the Port District would say yes, because it's a new appointee.
But I think you had to be here for the vote. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, you
Corporate
can't,
Counsel?
you can't change the minutes.
Can't change the minutes.
Based on the fact that you weren't here. So I think you can say on the record that if you were here, you would have been, but you can't change the minutes, because the minutes are a reflection of what actually happened. So I think you made a statement at the last aldermanic
yes, I
comment
did.
that if these come up, your vote is no unless it's a new appointee.
Correct. So that would be 2 for the library, but yes for the port, because they would be their first.
Okay, so again, we're not changing the minutes, so item A and B, item A, we had the first and the second, so roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Motion pass.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Can I have a first and a second for item B?
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Martinez, second. Alderman Guzman. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. There being no reports and communication, old business. This is something that we're doing as a resolution, but I'm not even sure it technically had to come back, right? But for transparency, I wanted you guys to see it in writing. You've seen it in your packets. So can I have a first and a
I'll make
second?
the motion.
Is what?
The motion.
Alderman Turner, second.
Second.
Alderman Newsom was second. A resolution ratifying modifications to an intergovernment agreement between the City of Waukegan and the Waukegan Community Unit School District 60 for public safety services for the 24-25 school year. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Motion pass.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Under new business, does anybody want to do an omnibus, or do you want to do them all separate?
I'll motion we omnibus. I will second.
Okay.
Can we do an omnibus
Alderman-
without having to read them all? Really expedite this?
Well, if anybody else wants to read them, they can. Alderman Florian was first, second was Alderman Bolton. Alderman Florian, were you volunteering to read all these for me? Yes.
I like to pull out
Wait. We've already made the motion, so what are you pulling out?
You can pull out.
H. And then B. Yes.
Letter was that?
B is a boy. I just got a couple questions, 'cause I wasn't here for the Public Works and Infrastructure Committee.
Okay, Alderman Florian, are you going to read for me?
Yeah, do we need to vote first? Or,
Well, you're just pulling out those two, so we're
Okay,
doing
all right.
omnibus. Or did we vote on omnibus? I'm sorry. Did we not do the roll call? Okay, roll call, please, Madam Clerk, on the omnibus.
All right. Alderman Bolton.
aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Okay, I'll read them. So everything but B and H, correct? Okay. Item A, a resolution approving change order number 1 with Chicagoland Paving Contractors, Inc. for the fiscal year 2025 alley program in a not-to-exceed amount of $240,000. Item C, a resolution approving the demolition of the water tower at 102 Keller Avenue by Leopardo per Section 2-458 subsection I3 joint purchasing for a not-to-exceed amount of $875,000. Item D, a resolution approving an agreement with Crawford, Murphy, and Tilley for design engineering services for the Beach Nut Pump Station MCC/FVD upgrades per Section 2-458 subsection I4 professional services for a not-to-exceed amount of $208,000. $1,500. Item E, an amendment to ordinance section 11-1 for restricted groundwater zones to add 1509 Washington Street to the list of properties subject to groundwater restrictions. Item F, a resolution approving change order number 2 with Lake County Grading Company LLC for the Fan Steel Soil Remediation Project. Item G, a resolution approving a professional services agreement with Deegan Group for professional environmental assessment work at the former Johnson Motors OMC Plant 1 BRP site. Item I, a resolution approving a local public agency engineering services agreement and a professional services agreement with Giewalt Hamilton Associated, Inc. for engineering services related to downtown accessibility improvements project. Item J, an ordinance approving the disposal of a surplus ambulance owned by the city of Waukegan and a bill of sale. Item K, an ordinance approving the disposal of a surplus trailer owned by the city of Waukegan. Item L, a resolution waiving competitive bidding and approving an agreement with Seagrave Fire Apparatus LLC for the procurement of a custom triple combination pumper fire apparatus in the amount of $1,119,896. Item M, an ordinance amending various sections of Chapter 9 of the City Code regarding fire prevention and protection. Item N, a resolution authorizing the procurement of 10 2025 Ford Explorers from Curry Motors in the amount of $452,040. Item O, a resolution approving the engagement of Nielsen, Zahi, and Antis PC to provide legal services to the city of Waukegan and the execution of an engagement agreement.
Thank you, Alderman Florian. Okay, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Can I have a first and a second on resolution, for item B?
So moved.
Alderman Florian, I need a
Second.
second. Who is the second? I'm sorry, Alderman Hayes. Alderman Guzman, you had a question to this?
$670,000 for storm sewer repairs. Where is that located at?
So,
It's going to be located at the intersection of University and Metropolitan, where we always flood at, in that intersection. And it's going to go south down to Lydia. And then once they get to Lydia, they're going to cut east down to Pioneer.
Yeah.
Replacing the sewer lines, 24 inches. So,
And do we have to also redo the roads, Chris?
correct.
Okay.
Well, they're going to redo the trench that they, yes,
not the whole road, but,
not the whole road.
yeah, just the trenching of it. Was that explained at the briefing or not?
I don't remember it.
Okay. So that one was one where we looked at Sourcewell because it was kind of an emergency because we had residents flooding, and Sourcewell
I kind of
was
remember that.
actually higher than Campanella and Sons.
Yep.
So that's why it's a good faith waiver.
Yep.
Okay. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item H, can I have a first and a second?
So moved.
Alderman Florian, Alderman Bolton, second. Questions to the motion, Alderman Guzman?
Yes. Mr. Carla?
The city engineer is not here, but I'm pretty familiar with this if you have a question.
Okay, so my question is this, why are we using motor fuel tax to fund this if, isn't it that this is usually for funding for public works and?
That's a very good question. So this case, items H and I go together. That MFT funds can be used for transportation projects in general, transportation and public works. In this case, we're not actually going to be using MFT funds permanently. This is a project that we have received a full grant from the state on. We're going to get reimbursed from it. So what's going to happen? What happens is that we're going to be using MFT to pay the $54,000. Once the work is complete, we get reimbursed. That money will be deposited back into MFT. What this is basically instead of taking money away from the general fund while we're waiting for the reimbursement, it's coming from MFT funds, which are appropriate for use for transportation improvements in the first place.
Okay, as long as it's coming back.
Okay, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
All right.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. There being no ordinances, alderperson time.
Alderman Bolton.
Yes, I want to thank everyone for their prayers, their calls, the cards. During my time out having surgery, it's good to be back. Thank God that I don't look like what I've been through. Then secondly, in response to the audience time in reference to getting McAllister repaved, I've already addressed that issue, so it is scheduled to be done. And then that's all I have. Oh, our next project for the first ward will be having our alleys worked on. So I have a list of that, and we just keep upgrading and improving. Thank you. That's all I have.
Alderman Guzman.
Good evening, all. Thank you for your time. I want to say something. I wasn't able to attend the parade. I had to work, but I did speak to a few aldermen, and I spoke to a few people that went down there, and they said everything was great. Chief, I've gotten a lot of compliments. They said, say congratulations, thank you for the police, that everything was very, very well organized by the police. They kept, everything was an easy in and out, and nobody could sneak in. Like other times, they would just go in there and no matter what, I guess, it was uncontrollable. But I guess this time, it was great. Everything was in line, and they said thank you. So I got a lot of compliments about that. It was really large, so very cool. I want to say something about the director of the Lakefront Coordinator. I mean, that woman works. I've been down there a couple of times, and I mean, she was even down there this Saturday or Sunday. I saw her there. I mean, she was out there picking paper and everything. I mean, she was moving around. I was like, whoa. She was here. She was there. She was. I mean, I think she does a great job down there, keeping everything in line and in and out, and she does a great job. You know, it's easy to come up here and dictate the money and everything like that, but until you, I guess, put your feet in their shoes, that's when you actually know what the job is. So I do want to say that she does a great job. Next. I want to say about Committee of the Whole, okay? I still feel that Committee of the Whole takes way too long. The items are being reduced, 6-7 months for one item to be heard, and one item was heard tonight. It was jumped above everyone, and I was happy, at least tonight we got through, at least I think we got through 3 of them. And today was a progressive day for Committee of the Whole, but usually it's only either half of one or one at all. So I'd like to put a motion to dissolve Committee of the Whole. And only if we're going to have something, we only have one and one item only, which is the distribution of funds of where they're going to be. But my motion is to dissolve it, and anything left will be thrown into other committees, and it will either be a negative recommendation or a positive recommendation, because even after it's voted in, it gets voted in again at the regular council meeting. So it doesn't even go into the consent agenda. It goes to a regular meeting, a regular new business, and that's how it goes for. So I don't see a need for committee of the whole anymore. So I think it should be dissolved. So I'll put a motion to dissolve committee of the whole immediately.
That would require a code amendment, so that would need to be on the,
Yeah, it would be on the committee of the whole. Here's the problem with what you're,
Codes, revisions, appeals, and negotiations.
but it still has, the problem that we're having is when these motions come up here on the floor and they're not screened through the departments, then they have to go through the committee of the whole because most of them are not in any format that they are ready to go to a proper committee. So if what we have talked about in the past, if you want to bring them up, talk to the staff and get them in an ordinance form or a resolution, and aldermen can do that. You don't need to be using attorney time to do that. That's something that aldermen and staff can work on. But that's not how it happens. The motions are made here, and then we're paying attorney fees, which are much higher than if we go through staff. So there would be a much better process to do this. But when they all come up and there's nowhere else to put them because they are not ready for committee, they end up in committee of the whole, and there's no other place to put them. So if you dissolve that, then one or two things has to happen. Either they're never going to get to committee properly, or it's going to put the onus on the alderman to go and talk that ordinance out with the staff, who will then do a final review with legal, which means they're not doing all the work. It means that they're just okaying it, which would save the city a ton of money, but that's not how we've been doing things. So it's up to you guys. That's how things end up in the committee of the whole. So if you dissolve it, it kind of takes that ability away to do these things where you're doing them on the fly, on the floor. But it's your council. You can choose what you want, but that's how, it's one or the other, and you guys have to choose that.
Even the stuff that's simple keeps going to the committee of the whole. It should go to the appropriate committee, get a recommendation, a positive or negative, and go straight to council afterwards. I don't find something for 6, 7, 8 months for something really small to keep going to committee of the whole. It was created, committee of the whole was originally created because it took too long for these motions to get through, and then there was discussions that were lasting half hour, 45 minutes. But we can always do a time limit on that, maybe 10 minutes or something like that, and then go to vote. The problem is, even after we kept discussing back and forth, we'd call the question, which means that it would be called the vote, and then still more conversations will keep going over and over and over, and then they would never finish. So my thing is time limit, call for vote, you're done.
Mayor, you forgot to mention that if you get 3 aldermen to sign something, you can put it right on the agenda. So if you have something you want, get 2 other people.
No, I mean, our
I got 5, and I still had to go through the whole thing.
Hold on. Corporate counsel is going to address this.
There has been, with this council, the largest influx of legislative proposals from the city council, and that's fine. I mean, that's what that's arguably what your job is. However, by shifting these to different committees, it would basically be fundamentally unfair because you could route it through a different committee that certain people wouldn't have the opportunity to comment on. Committee of the Whole has been, the idea about Committee of the Whole is that you are all here, you can all provide input, and as we saw tonight, there was a lot of good input that came, and probably some disagreements or agreements that may have been unexpected. The council can determine how to order its business, but the problem is that if you start shunting things to different committees that have different memberships, and then we end up having we don't get clear direction, some things may never actually end up going to the city council. This was a process that the city council had agreed upon, and I feel tonight showed it worked.
The That's actually not true because, okay, so you will not get your vote on the committee. That is true. But when it comes to full council, you will get the time to have your say and have your vote. This eliminate committee of the whole just eliminates a whole process. So if you go to a different committee, let's say it goes to committee development or government operations and oversights, okay, it'll go to that committee. That committee listens to it. It'll give it a positive or negative, but then it goes to the full council, and then you hear it one time and one time only. Now you have to hear it 2, 3, 4 times, and to wait 6, 7 months for a decision. It's just too long of a process. It's
Well,
just, everything is too long.
I think it's been because there's been so much thrown on, there's been a lot done. Rather than doing 1 or 2 things, we're trying to do so many of them. But the downside is, right now, Committee of the Whole takes place, and those who want to come and be part of the audience can be. But they don't have to be here at 7 o'clock at night listening to everybody debate something, and then we're here till 11 o'clock, and residents are sitting here listening till 11 o'clock. In Committee of the Whole, it's happening beforehand.
And that's why I said it could be a time limit to that and do a 10-minute. The first response would be to the initiating person of the ordinance, and then the last one would be the same alderman who proposed that ordinance, and then be done with it. A 10-minute conversation, and then go to the vote. Because, I mean, I remember it kept going and going and going, called the question, and then the vote would never come. So, I mean,
Okay.
so it should be a time limit, and then
So does
that's
that go
it.
on the next agenda?
There was no second.
I'll second it.
I'll second it.
Okay. Does that go on the next agenda then, or?
Well, there needs to be a vote to put it on an agenda. So, yeah.
So roll call, please, Madam Clerk, because we've got a first and a second to that. That was Alderman Guzman. Second was Alderman Felix.
This is a vote to dissolve Committee of the Whole.
Or is it for discussion?
He wants to dissolve it. It's not a discussion. He just wants to go straight to dissolving it.
So this vote would decide whether we dissolve.
No, it would be put on an agenda, and I would have to figure out what it means to actually dissolve Committee of the Whole.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it go to codes revisions, appeals, and negotiations? Let's call for that one.
No, we are so far off track. This is alderman time. It's not just fabricate any motion you want and have a debate about it on the floor. We are already pushing into more time is being spent on alderman time than on the city council meeting tonight. Talk about this at your own time. You don't have to do it in front of the few people that are here.
This is my...
No. Committee of the Whole is formed by ordinance. It is a filtering system so that we're not here until midnight debating different issues. And it is a mechanism by which we don't violate the Open Meetings Act, so we can hear what everybody has to say without violating the statute. It gives us an opportunity to discuss these things amongst ourselves, have a healthy debate, allow the public to see it, and then move on. Maybe it makes it to city council, maybe it doesn't. But the fact that we're up here debating this during alderman time proves the fact that we need to have Committee of the Whole.
Because there should be a time limit.
All right. Listen.
As the alderman who talks the most.
I would note that.
Let's call the question, please.
So what is the motion?
Dissolve Committee of the Whole.
And
send it to codes revisions, appeals, and negotiations.
Which meets when called. It doesn't have a regular
Correct.
time to meet. Which
And that's
also is
why I
what
picked
Committee of
that
the Whole
committee.
has. Okay.
They're the same, I mean, you're just renaming it, but they're meeting when needed.
Just for this one item.
Just for one item?
Removal of, dissolve Committee of the Whole, and then it will go into a full city council that night with a positive or negative
So your motion is that the consideration of the dissolution of Committee of the Whole should be referred to the Code Revisions, Appeals, and Negotiations Committee, which will be called to consider it. Is that what you're
Correct.
asking?
Yes. and then go to full city council that night with either a positive or negative recommendation, and then there it
Can't
is.
go the same night because you don't necessarily have the votes for something to put it on the agenda.
Well, that's been our process for committee of the whole. I still don't understand what the effect of dissolving the committee of the whole is.
Stu,
Is
can
it-
I
yeah.
say something?
Sure.
So the reason why from what I'm gathering that you're saying that is that technically we can just say anything that we bring up, we can just say I want it in this committee instead of just going in the committee of the whole. So technically we can just say, hey, I want to do this. As long as I motion him putting it in a certain committee, it has to go through, correct? We have to vote on it?
This may be helpful. There is a code provision that is new matters referred to committee and overriding the mayor's referral. The mayor, at his or her discretion, without discussion, or the council by a majority vote of the members present, may refer any new matter introduced at any meeting, or may be taken up for immediate consideration. Now, it can't actually be taken up for immediate consideration because that doesn't comply. This was 1974. That doesn't comply with the Open Meetings Act. By the consent of 2/3 of all members of the council may override the mayor's referral of any new matter to a committee, and the same may be taken up for immediate consideration. Once again, immediate consideration is not on the table. So the mayor has the ability to assign new items to committee. She has been assigning them to committee of the whole, so everyone can discuss that. By this code, which I have read here, 2/3 of all members of the council consists of 10 people. That would require 7 people to vote to assign it to a different committee. That is how the code says the assignment to committees occur. We don't normally, that's the first time I think I've ever read that provision aloud. In general, things are assigned to committee by subject matter, except for legislative proposals that are coming from the alderman, and those are assigned to committee of the whole, so there is an order to this, which tonight, for instance, you took that order and you rearranged it by a simple majority vote, which you're allowed to do.
Okay, so what you're saying is if it goes through, I need 7 to move it to codes revisions and appeals. If not, I need 5 to move it to committee of the whole. Is that my understanding?
You could, yes, it would only take it would take a majority vote tonight to simply put this on committee of the whole for discussion.
Okay, no, I don't want discussion, I want a vote. Well, discussion and vote.
Vote, yes,
you know what I
discussion
mean.
and vote. If
Yes.
we can come up with what the actual, if you and I can discuss over the next few weeks what you actually would like, how you want to do this, and we come up with language, it could then be voted on that night at committee of the whole.
Sounds great. That's what it'll be.
And then I think you also have to be open to the idea that some committee chair people let the whole dais talk during their committees. Others do not. So you would be missing that in a committee when they are not allowed to talk. Then you're only going to get the vote of 5 people that may or may not forward it on. I think if you really want to have discussions, you should have it where everybody is involved.
I thought that we put a new consensus that everybody will be allowed to speak on any committee that you want.
I don't remember an ordinance passing like that.
Mayor, I think it would be helpful for me to work with Alderman Guzman on
I think so, too.
if there is a majority, and I think we'll find out when we call the vote, if there's a majority who would like to reconsider how committee of the whole is handled and how new legislative proposals are handled, we can work up some options and we can present them to the city council.
Okay, so we're voting on, right now, to dissolve committee of the whole. Is that what we're voting on?
To place that on, to place dissolution of committee of the whole on committee of the whole for discussion and vote, and we'll have to come up with what that means.
Okay.
Can I ask one more question, though? So does that mean we could never have a committee of the whole, even if we wanted to?
If you
Well-
dissolve it, there's no committee to put it.
Well, I think, and I don't want to put words in Alderman Guzman's mouth, but I think he's saying that he does not believe committee of the whole is the appropriate place to discuss new legislative proposals, but it may still remain as a place to discuss things such as the revenue allocation plan.
Correct.
But what Alderman Hayes said is so important, that the only time we can all discuss something to avoid Open Meetings Act is committee of the whole. So,
Or you could do that in council meeting.
and make these people who sit here for hours and hours, because we're now at 20 minutes for Alderman Guzman's time, I'm going to point out, I've been timing it. So now 20 minutes times 9 is how many minutes, plus all the business of the council? Seriously, you guys, come on.
And I think the state legislation that passed that gave me the power to do that.
Okay, so what are we voting on, Stu?
It would be to put a discussion and vote regarding the dissolution of committee of the whole items and the reassignment of the dissolution of committee of the whole and the reassignment of the items on that agenda to other committees. Not at the next committee of the whole, which is going to be revenue allocation, but in 2 committees of the whole.
Alderman Newsom has something, her head is spinning, but I know she has something she wants. Okay,
So we're voting on just to have this as a discussion.
Correct.
Okay, you're voting just. to
Don't
have
even entertain it. Let's just move past this.
Okay.
Let's not waste our time discussing it.
Okay, so we're.
Now I hear another motion.
We have a first and a second.
Okay, we're just going to vote on putting this on discussion item on, unfortunately, committee of the whole. So Alderman, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
No.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Nay.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Nope.
Florian.
No.
Hayes.
No.
Fails 5.
Okay. Okay.
Are you finished, Alderman Guzman?
Well, no, I am not. I'm going to keep you here longer.
Now into our second 20 minutes.
Exactly. Oh, well, maybe 40. All right. Actually, I want to say that it's getting darker outside. And please be mindful with the kids and the school buses with the lights, especially in the morning. And don't go around them. Please keep our kids safe. Thank you. Have a good night.
Alderman Martinez.
All right, thank you, Madam City Clerk and also City Council. First, I'd like to thank Pastor and friend Angelo Kyle for tonight's invocation. Concerning the homecoming parade that was held last Friday, it was such a huge success. So many people gathered around, also residents were there. They came from all over the Third Ward, so I want to give special thanks and kudos to all those residents who supported our students at the homecoming parade. Like I said, it was extremely festive, and it was a spirited event. I do like to thank Maggie, I don't want to chop up her last name, Maggie Stronjink, and she is a student council co-sponsor who coordinated the event. And also my helpers, Maggie Powell, Carmen Martinez, Mike Morales, and of course, Alderman Victor Felix, who joined me on the parade. Special thanks to Public Works, who did an outstanding job assuring that the parade route was clean, the trees were trimmed, the curbs were clean, and signs were placed where needed. Special thanks to Chris Garland, the Director of Public Works, and also Alonzo, and all those who made sure that it was a huge event. Look forward to it next year. I also participated in the North Chicago Fiesta Patrias, another great event. Special thanks to organizer Fernando Bahima and the North Chicago organization, Fiesta Patrias organization. It was well attended, it was cheerful, it was peppy, and it was very spirited. Let me see, I'm going to go ahead and move forward that. All righty. So let me see, I also say that, again, as Alderman Guzman pointed out, it is starting to get dark out there. Please heed, make sure that you lower your speed when you are going through the different areas, especially now that by 4:30 it is dark. We have students walking in the streets and the sidewalks, so please be very mindful on your speed, and you also have to think for them also. Many times they will go out, they will dart out, but please be very careful. You know, safety is the main concern, so you want to make sure that we do have a safe route for them to come home in and out. But in any case, if you need to get a hold of me, I can be reached at 847-390-2689. That is it for now. I ask you to be safe, be mindful, and let's all be a good neighbor. Thank you.
Alderman Felix.
Thank you. Also, I just want to mention again regarding the parade. It was such a great parade here in Waukegan. I did attend the North Chicago one. Fernando Bahima did a great job. Saw North Chicago come together and did a great event. And me and Juan were representing on behalf of Waukegan. We were there letting everyone know that Waukegan's here also and supporting the parade. So it was a great time. Should have heard Alderman Martinez giving the Mexican scream. It was funny. And he hyped up the city of North Chicago. City of Waukegan did a great job. I mean, I was really surprised as how well organized it was. I know it was stressing for the organizers, it always is, but they did a great job. At the end of the night, I rode through the whole ward. It was clean. There was some minor details here and there, but I will take that any day because it was really, really clean. And so I just want to say great job to Juntos NFP for doing that. And it was great to see, our council people, the mayor, Adrian Johnson there as, it looked really nice. They were on the carriage. They were walking, welcoming the people from the city, from the outside into our city, and also saying hi to our residents. What a great turnout. I mean, 30,000, I mean, come on, that's amazing. And that's the biggest so far. So, I'm proud for, again, Juntos for bringing that together. And a lot of people came together for this parade, I would say. A lot of people that were divided last year and this year, they came together and had a great event. Safe. Like I said, no, police wasn't called in for specific reasons for the specific parade. So I'm proud of our Waukegan coming together. I did attend the homecoming as well. It was great. It was fun. Shout out to the organizers. I did put a post on social media on the speed bumps and what people think. People have been reaching out, so I encourage more people to reach out. We have to get together and kind of get an idea of how to tackle this, speed bumps or traffic control devices. Another thing is that I did attend the grand opening for Fourth Ward business, La Zona 84. It is a bar in the Washington area, where there's other bars there. Beauty of this is that the city of Waukegan made sure that everything is legit, all the licenses, everything. She went through the whole process, and that's why I love supporting this business. There are a few things that I'm working on with the staff, city staff, on in the Fourth Ward, in terms of maintenance, getting things cut, getting things picked up. So I appreciate everyone reaching out and driving around and sending me either a text or pictures of things. That way, it's the best way to take care of things in the ward. Things that I'm looking out for is lighting. Where there's low lighting, please let me know. Where there should be lighting, please let me know. That way I can see if I can work on that. I did take a picture of the Pace bus where they're dropping people off downtown. I took pictures. I'm going to try to address that as well. Another thing that this weekend was I would say not a huge issue, but is an issue, and I want to make sure that I'm going to start to address that, is the food trucks on what kind of noise they're allowed to make in terms of their generator and also music outside. I'm going to look into how clear that is when our people are applying for these licenses. Other than that, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for reaching out and for, again, attending our parade. Thank you.
Alderman Newsom. Alderman Turner.
Thank you very much. So in the 6th Ward, I just want to reiterate what I did from our last meeting regards these signs that are being placed in the parkways and increasingly attached on light poles and phone poles and so forth. And as I said, we we tend to turn a blind eye towards those signs if they are pertaining to a yard sale, garage sale, rummage sale, those kinds of things. I ask that you please remove those signs after your event is terminated or comes to an end. As for the commercial signs, we buy houses and we take junk and all those kinds of things. In the 6th Ward, if I see them in the parkway, I'm taking them. And I'm going to dispose of them. If they're attached to a light pole or if you're on city property, I'm going to dispose of them. And you can yell at me and get mad if you want, but that's what's going to happen. So please don't bother putting your commercial signs on city property in the 6th Ward. Thank you.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Yes, again, I want to thank everybody in the city of Waukegan with all the contacts I've been making in days. I do make constant emails every day with them, and they are taking care of everything. And again, I want to thank them. The police chief was able to take care of some things that we've been having problems with, and I want to thank him and have him thank his staff who was out there. I attended the North Chicago parade. Fernando Bahina did a fantastic job. It was a great parade and went down. I also attended ours, and what everybody said, it was absolutely fantastic. I would say 30,000 maybe plus. It was very well attended, and everybody was happy. You know, I was happy, my wife was happy. So, you know, we drove the parade and stuff. What I need to do is I need to bring up this Class C license that I voted on earlier. I need to reconsider that. I got some more information that I didn't have earlier, so I want to bring that back up at the next Committee of the Whole.
I'll second that.
So, what Alderman Donnerworth had said was that he had a mishap or a misunderstanding about some of the requirements, and he would like to, if he had known those, he would not have voted against it. So he would like to put that back on the Committee of the Whole agenda. You can vote on that, or you can just agree that that will be back on the agenda at the next Committee of the Whole for further discussion. It may be worthwhile to do a vote, though. So if you'd like to have a motion
bring it
to
back
put it
for a
back.
vote.
And then there was a second there.
Do you want to put this back on the agenda for the item C, or that one where we, yeah, it would go to Committee of the Whole, which will not be at the next Committee of the Whole. It will be the one after that.
It would basically be putting item 4A under, which was under new business, under old business for the next Committee of the Whole, where you consider legislation.
Okay. So you'd be reconsidering putting something that you voted down, right? Okay, yeah. So, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Who's the second?
I am.
Guzman.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Nay.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
All right?
Florian.
No.
Hayes.
No.
Motion pass.
Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay. Anything else, Alderman Donnerworth?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Alderman Florian.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I just want to thank the Public Works Department for helping me pull off a dumpster on Saturday, September 7th. It's one of the things I do that my ward appreciates the most, so thank you for that. I participated in the parade yesterday. It was great. Thanks to the police and everyone who made it a safe event for everyone. I acknowledge that many people gave up their time and their ability to enjoy the event in order to pull it off. So thank you for that. It's kind of like throwing a party for yourself. You don't get to enjoy your own party. So it was excellent, well-attended, safe, just as everyone's been saying. So thank you. Have a good night.
Alderman Hayes.
Yeah, real quick. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Alderman time should not be used to introduce and debate new motions. It is proving to be a waste of everybody's time. It's an opportunity to update the public about what's going on in your individual ward, perhaps thank staff, as many of us like to do, but introducing and debating new motions, that's not what it's intended for. If you want to introduce a motion, rally your troops, get your 3 signatures, talk to staff, put in the work, and then try to get it on the agenda. That's what it's for. What did we just spend? 40 minutes on alderman time. Our whole meeting didn't take 40 minutes. Or just about 40 minutes. It's an embarrassment. I think it's ridiculous, and it's an abuse of the time. If we hold individuals to 3 minutes, I don't see why aldermen shouldn't be held to 3 minutes. To be clear, I'm not introducing a motion to hold aldermen to 3 minutes during my alderman time. But I will rally my troops and maybe introduce one. That's all I have. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
No,
Aye.
I've got one comment
Second.
first. No, one comment
Second.
first. I just want to clarify somebody talking about horses that we have had a history of a difference. Last year, we had 2 parades. There's no way we could have had horses and clean up in between them. We have always, when we've had one parade, had horses. And we had horses this year, and they did it the smart way. They had them at the end of the parade. So, and they cleaned up this city like you wouldn't believe.
Oh.
Unlike what we have had in the past, where not only was it on the parade route, but it was on probably 20 other streets as well. So I want to say congratulations to Juntos, who was out until 8 o'clock last night cleaning up streets, and there was not manure for us to be picking up. So with that, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Turner, and who was second? Guzman, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.